joining us. Didn't expect to see so many people. Hopefully we can you hear us at the back? Can you hear us? I hope you can, because we've only got our voices. All right. Hopefully you can be quiet while we're performing. That would be great. Hey everybody, we're with Zero Exile. My name is Wasim, and I'm joined by Catherine Tyndall and Louise Lorenz and Asta Amundsen. We're showing you, it's the first official performance of a game artwork that we made in 2022 as part of the European Commission's Starts Repairing the Present programme, got a residency in Copenhagen. And we made a theatre production and an interactive choose-your-own misadventure storytelling environment, the Immaculate Misconception, which we're going to play through with you in a performative way today. I'm going to read you just a little bit about the project and then add some context, and then we'll start. So the Immaculate Misconception is an interactive storytelling environment inspired by pre-internet gamebooks. Participants make a series of policy decisions over time as Bitcoin proliferates and global sea levels rise. Acceleration of the quest for limitless energy, the attempts to exile Bitcoin off-planet, conducting an insurrection, or acquiescing to the new machine god. The game interrogates the environmental implications of cryptocurrencies, charting speculative futures that probe tensions between capital and ecology in the contemporary global regime dominated by scarcity economics. The work unfolds as a fictional narrative where formerly failed states make Bitcoin their official currency, as volcano-powered energy makes them the richest nations on Earth, and eco-conscious activists start rising up against the mining farms. Just to say a little bit about why we did this project and why we thought it was important. So some of you may know that certain cryptocurrencies, and Bitcoin is the chief example remaining, have this very energy-intensive way of operating their network in this decentralized, leadless way. And that's the Bitcoin mining or the proof of work you've doubtless heard of. We used art as a lens to foreground the possible implications and externalities, especially on planetary ecology, that this unlimited desire for energy could lead to. And so the game is it's a satire. So you'll see it's we're pushing these things to the limit. We hope you enjoy it. We think it's funny. We hope you share our humor. But there is a lesson, a kernel of truth in there, something for us to think about, which is that our actions and the technologies that we choose to use and deploy have real-world implications and real-world consequences that might threaten our very existence on the planet. That's it, I think. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks for coming. Sound should be on.
Okay.
Should I read it?
No.
Tempus fugit. Oh, pardon me. I feel naked without my hat. Tempus fugit, armor manet. So the saying almost goes. Time is all around us, watching our lives and clocking our hours as we grind to dust under insatiable formations of capital. Who built all the clocks?
Hello everybody, I'm Hashi. Let's get to know each other. I'm from Shenzhen, China, and I love to hash. Proof of work is my game, and it makes the planet a better place. Isn't that what we all want? What kind of world would we live in without old corny B? I don't even want to think about it. It would be so cold. I hate the new ice age. We have to warm the planet up to avoid the big freeze. Always remember, there was once a subtropical climate at the poles. Greta was a mistake. We must return to meteorological tradition. Don't call it a hothouse Earth, call it a cozy planet.
Good morning to you, friend. Or as they say around here, GM. May I ask, what is your name, fellow time traveler?
So, this is all audience participation. Please shout out your suggested name for yourself as a group. Suggestions, please. Gwendolyn. Any others? Ah,
Stanley.
Stanley. I mean, those are two good suggestions. Do you want to like have a show of hands? Gwendolyn's first, yays? Or Stanley? Oh, marginally more Gwendolyn's, I think.
Well, how do you attack Gwendolyn?
Like that? Like that?
That's not how you spell Gwendolyn.
How do you spell
How
Gwendolyn?
do you spell Wendell?
She's okay.
Spell the way you want to spell.
This is a good one.
Let's go with this.
That's the dumb.
Listen, lady, this is the future. People use language differently here.
Landolan.
Oh, I would spell it. Okay, we continue. I think.
It's good to make your acquaintance, fellow Gwendolyn. Take a peep here. You must have traveled long to reach us in the here and now. What year is it anyway? You know, you can't trust everyone you meet out here. In the Wild West Web3 Casino, there be coyotes, bandits, and dissimulations amongst the denizens of the cyber realm. So, let's get to know each other, friend. It always helps to know what kind of company you're riding the timeline with. Beautiful, shiny Bitcoin. Behold in all its glory. Tell me, dear Gwendolyn, do you like the coin?
A, mightily. B, much. C, maybe. D, meh.
Maybe.
Ah, come on. Let's hear it.
Shout out, shout out.
Shout it out.
Mightily, hey, mightily. Ah, fellow lovers of the coin, in the room with us here now.
So, what is it then?
Mightily.
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 Okay.
Hey, listen, we said it's interactive, but it's not fully interactive.
I mean, maybe we need to show hands again. A,
There are no A's.
B. Oh, any B's? No B's. Okay. C,
Oh my.
Ah.
So many babies.
D.
Ooh. I think it was maybe. I think it
I
was
think
maybe.
Maybe.
I think the maybes have it.
Oh, you're a bunch of maybe-ing, little babies.
Maybe.
The coin has many faces and many lives. Look into its circuits. Do you want to look deeper? How much do you want to or dare to know?
A, everything. B, tell me the good bits. C, tell me the problematic bits. D, we'll check in after I finish TikTok.
Shout out, shout out! Let's hear it.
I think A's got it. A sounds like an A to me.
Coins are all about change, even the non-physical ones. It's time for a heads or tails question. In the world of entropy, you only have so much energy to be useful with. For you, which is the wisest spend?
A, change the world. B, change yourself.
Shout out!
Hey, shout it out! I think the A's are more enthusiastic. I'm not sure about the number.
I'm tired of being
Ambition is a virtue. Time for another coin flip. The world needs changing, but how should we do it?
A, join the system and change it from within. B, don't join the system. The system will change you before you change it. Friend. Show of hands. A's. Any A's? A's. Oh. B.
I hit B.
Okay, A.
A.
I can hear A.
Dear Gwendolyn, thank you for taking part in our little survey. We've collected your answers and measured them in relation to our scientific taxonomy of coin archetypes, miners, investors, activists, and the general public. According to our metrics, your replies suggest you're closer to being an investor than the other options. But of course, there's a little of each in everybody. Let's see how we see you. Hey there, big spender. Looks like you've learned the price of anything, and maybe the value of some things too. You've got the credentials and the CV. But there are things education can't buy, like money. That you have to do with money. Lucky you, you've got a fair bit of that to see you through. But sometimes the haves don't hold all the cards. And there are a lot of jokers out there in Coinland. You've got some advantages, it's true. But just try to make sure all your exuberances are rational as you move through the timeline. Good luck!
Good luck.
In the beginning, before the Genesis, in the formless block void, unbound by chains, was coin. A formal divinity of indifference and repetition. Manifest reality. Cryptography creates. Theologic gates. Business School Dropout 2023. In which the esteemed Professor Hugh Bristics of the Byzantine Business School attempts to convince Federal Reserve regulators to adopt Bitcoin as a reserve currency. He knows what he's talking about, or at least he thinks he does, and confidence is the most important currency of all.
It's not that it's going to solve all our problems, though, to be fair, solving problems is what makes Bitcoin go round. It's more that the coin has certain properties. It offers certain certainties that you can't get elsewhere. Also, it provides clarity of consensus, a problem with which you might be familiar.
I see the upsides. I just see the downsides too. I mean, we already have a perfectly good currency.
I would contend that it's an imperfectly good currency. Ultimately, it's up to you, but the mining is going to go on anyway. If not in America, then somewhere else. El Salvador, Sweden, China.
They're not so bullish on alternative systems in Beijing these days. Maybe you might want to have a chat with someone in the International Relations Department sometime, Professor?
Now, I think we shouldn't be overly hasty. A market is a market. Certainty is a beautiful thing, Professor, but I wonder if the world can afford this much certainty. I mean, we're not on track for 1.5 degrees, as you know. The coin is hungry.
All the more reason to get involved now. If the Treasury steps in, we can make the coin greener, leaner, cleaner. Give it a whole new demeanor.
Send us a prospectus.
We may even read it.
I just want a hearing, that's all.
Sooner or later, Professor, I'm sure you will have one of those.
He's made his case. What do you think? Courses are open at the Byzantine Business School now.
A. Enroll in the Byzantine Business School immediately and take control of your future today. B. Don't enroll, let the markets decide. C. Real education is knowing what to do with other people's debt. A's?
Shout out, let's hear you.
Let's hear you, or hands up. A's?
Yeah.
A's? B's? C? No keen students in the audience? No learning wanting?
We go for C.
You chose C. The only infinite resource is human stupidity. Bollinger all around. Cheers, my peers. Looks like mornings are good, but let's see what you make of the hashes of the afternoon. Bull in the treasury. So you've decided there's no greater investment than to invest in yourselves. Congratulations. You've gone to the Byzantine Business School and you've come out with first honors and a few $100,000 in debt. But that's the kind of thing you can fix with one day's trading, right? Well, we can worry about that another day. But the big news is you've landed a job at a think tank, the Institute for Contingency Planning. It's your job to work with their team of experts to present plausible regulation scenarios to policymakers. And what's that? Your favorite colleague, Joel Crypto Bull, has managed to arrange a meeting with the US Secretary of the Treasury? There's a lot of discussion within the ICP about whether you're ready to approach senior policymakers at this point. Your vote is crucial. What do you think?
Yay? If not now, when? Nay, 4 years from now, the world might be a lot more coin friendly. A's? Yays? Yays? Yay!
That's
Nays?
very much yay.
Nays? No, everybody's okay.
Wow.
Wow.
Unanimous.
Unanimous. Brilliant.
Clarity of consensus.
My chief of staff tells me you have a proposal for me to look over regarding an inflation hedge.
Absolutely, yes, Secretary Yellen. I have a PowerPoint on my laptop if you would indulge me.
I'm afraid I only have a very small time window to speak with you, Mr. Cryptobull. If you could briefly summarize your proposal to just come forward and immediate to me.
Of course, Madam Secretary. I want to talk to you about an opportunity. I know you might be skeptical about some of the things you've heard about Bitcoin, but...
Mr. Cryptobull, I think this is more a presentation for the SEC chair, I'm afraid.
Madam Secretary, I speak to you as a patriotic American first, a capitalist second, an early adopter, entrepreneur third, and as a father. May I please? I've come all the way from Boston.
You have 5 minutes.
Okay.
Cryptobull exhales, places his palms against each other, and exhales deeply. Yellen leans in with a quizzical expression on her face.
Mr. Cryptobull.
Madam Secretary, Bitcoin is more than a currency. It's more than an investment. It's a dream. And a dream is open to everyone, Madam Secretary. People everywhere are purchasing Bitcoin and making big money, but that's not its real power. Its real power is that it gives people something to believe in, something to commit to. I know President Biden isn't a big crypto guy. Look, he's from a different generation. No offense. But I'm telling you that Bitcoin is the future. It's getting bigger every day. But it's not like the standard currencies that you just magic into existence by snapping your fingers. No offense. It's real. It's genuine value. You can almost touch it. If the U.S. Treasury can join my project to set up a strategic Bitcoin reserve for the USA, that means we'll no longer have to worry about things like inflation. Think about it. If people know that they can exchange dollars for Bitcoins, that will stabilize both the dollar and Bitcoin at once. It's growing every day. A little dip here, a little dip there. It doesn't matter. The winners are the ones with vision, the ones who stay in, the ones who aren't afraid. If the Treasury sets up this reserve, it will also make Bitcoin safer. Not right now. You remember what President Johnson said, right? It's better to have your currency, your adversary inside the tent pissing out than outside the tent pissing in, right? I mean, setting up the currency reserve reserve would allow the U.S. huge flexibility, and it would allow for the capacity to regulate and even to manage the release of blocks. Also, it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to make Bitcoin greener. For example, I have a schematic for a geothermal and volcano-based mining subsidiary that effectively carbon neutral over a very reasonable time frame. And that's before you even get into working with undersea geothermal vents. Believe me, it's amazing what's going to be possible in 3 years at most. You totally can't lose, I mean, it's basically a sure thing. Like, can I just show you my presentation now? I promise you it's the right thing to do. Not just for Bitcoin investors, but also for America. So, what do you think, Madam Secretary?
Well,
Well, it's like listening to a young William James Bryan up in here, no? Food for thought, am I right? Well, if you're investing, this is a serious fork in the road. What do you think? Has Joel made his case? Or is the secretary too addicted to fiat to be persuaded by a silver and crypto gold tongue reader?
long on Bitcoin or short on Bitcoin?
Long.
Okay, let's hear that again. 1, 2, 3.
I hear short, right?
Hey, this is how consensus really works.
Titus, please call security.
Well, my dearest Gwendolyn, what can you expect? But as the madmen say, there's no such thing as bad publicity. The ICP is now one of the most respected think tanks in the cryptocurrency space. But my philosophy is, so what if the bar is low, as long as they're serving drinks? Yik activists.
Consider now a new social network like TikTok, but somehow it's even worse. It's Yik Yak in there, the creators vie to best all the other energy tribes. For in this weird future of exit, not voice, you move to be served by the source of your choice. Some to where nuclear power splits ions, some to a near orbit solar Zion, and some to trad charter states that still frack. So, into this geopolitical track, stage left, enter the most loved creators, Yik Yak. One from reactors of greater nuclear, two from solar panels and orbiteers. They deplane hype loop in non-stop live stream into the land in which we convene, where frackers do scoff at energies clean. Here our Yik Yaks a rap battle shall stage, in balloons stratospheric so high to engage a view of their joined jurisdictions. But what follows some might call horror in fiction. Celebrities have become big now concluded to see a film. Oh, because it's terrible. I don't want to push you know here. Mr. Caesar's always already selling the cream. He's like a trophy on store because of me cooking in fucking energy cooks where they can get burnt. Kukoski is eating cold freaking hay already, but don't become busy, Buffy. So cause because you see me getting reacted to the public going. I've been dealing solar, it's gonna mean cause it's getting ready to correct.
Skunning is the word, I'm sure you'll agree. So who looks more like the future? Solar, or is it nuclear? The choice is yours, or you can get meta the old-fashioned way and choose not to choose. Just sit back and watch the fuss.
Solar, nukes, I think the nukes have it. The nukes have it.
Yik Yak has gone land, Yik-Yaks behold the sprawl of the earth and its manifold rivers and lakes and forests once green, becoming desert in a grotesque of scenes. They see the three fair cities triangulated, where different energies are accelerated, nuclear reactors of breedies they steam, and rockets of solids with new panels gleam directly below the pumps of combustions, frack and pipe gas to all craftworks rusty. Then at 10 gun salute the Yik-Yaks brief deep, preparing to drop the basest of beats, but from sky above comes an ominous moan, the fast approach of a black drone. Closer and closer to Yik-Yak balloon, with innocent glee our Yik-Yakkers stare, as tiny black specks rise into the air, the fiercely trained raptors of combusties soaring to destroy the adversary. A shared triumph for our Yik-Yaks would be destruction of despised paparazzi. But drone is not the pups. Drone is much worse. It flies past balloon, then it hits sharp reverse and wings straight hit into balloon's graceful little dome, exploding to send our creators home to Earth, where sadly the stars most beloved of Yik-Yak smash into desertified mud. Off stage left, the collaborate liberation force ululate until their voices are hoarse.
Terrible, terrible, terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible.
That is a choice. That is 3 choices. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible.
Terrible.
Okay.
What two young idealistic crusties started in resistance to the almighty coin has become a wanton battle of all against all. Who would have thought that a simple digital token infused with libertarian ideology and the unimpeachable logic of multi-level marketing could result in such horror? I don't blame you if you cry, friend, but don't give up. There's really no point in crying over a little spilled uranium-235. Life goes on, and as Ayn Rand herself will put it, we the living need to make a living. Sometimes a little ETF therapy can help with the grief. The hammer and the scorecard. Hello. We've already seen a lot of ups and downs in our little adventure, but if you found yourself here, you could already consider yourselves a winner. But any fool can make money. The real winners know how to spend it. Why don't you take a little gander at the luxury offerings available to you now you've reached the outer orbits of the winner's circle?
Famine, fire, war, collapse. In today's world, no one is safe. Imagine a place as safe as your Bitcoin wallet. Cube, a physical space secured by technology where only a trusted few can enter. A smart paradise where state-of-the-art algorithms cater to your every desire. The key to your wallet is also your key to the world's safest gated community. Our 20 cubic hectare facility provides everything you need, surrounded by 4 solid pillars of steel reinforced concrete. Each cube subscriber receives a secure luxury flat with a perfect view of endless sunny skies. Included with each subscription is a complete meal plan, gym membership, and unlimited access to our outdoor entertainment and gambling facilities. Rub elbows with your fellow innovators in Tier 1.
think? Are you gonna get it on the ground floor? Or is the cube a little bit too square for your tastes?
Subscribe. Hard angles suit me. Pass. I'm really a 5-dimensional personality. Subscribe, hands up, subscribe, or pass? Pass, or subscribe?
Subscribe. Are you telling me that 100 Bitcoin is too much to live in a slice of paradise?
Subscribe.
Of course. We will subscribe.
External, cube balcony. Desmond and Bryce appear sitting on a balcony. The projected sky around them is piping constant tinny bird song and relaxing music. Desmond is talking to Bryce, who is alternating hammer curls while they speak.
I wish they'd turn the damn birds down, bro. I mean, it's not like anyone here is jonesing for nature.
I don't know, I kind of like it. Reminds me of my childhood or something. What are you missing?
Me, honestly, Vegas. The casino here is aight, but nothing left on Earth can compare to that solid mile of blacked out bachelorette parties.
Can't you say go to Vegas? What about the Hyperloop?
You must be new here, bro. There's a waiting list on that thing as long as my arm. Not as thick, though. It costs most of my yearly subscription fee just to cut 6 places. There's only a couple of recreational travel spots a day, and you need way more coin than I got if you want to use them. Put your name down now if you want to go anyplace, bro. I signed up the day I got here.
100 Bitcoin and I gotta wait a year to go anywhere? Are you kidding me? I was supposed to go to Singapore on business next month.
Whoa, you mean you got a day job still? That's cringe, dude. What do you do?
Head of crypto portfolios for XBC.
Wait, that's sick. Then you must be stacked, bro. Can you get me up the list?
Not if I need to blow a year subscription fee just to do my job every month. And could you stop with the hammer curls? Can't you just go to the gym? Don't tell me that's not included either.
Oh, I go every day, but that alone is not gonna cut it here, bro. Not a lot of high-value females in the queue. They all chose the gated communities with, like, cute gardens and NFT galleries and shit. It's war out there, dog. Gotta look your best.
How do you like your new life? If these chaps feel like the company you want to keep, stick and stay. But don't worry, there's a way out. Cancellation fees apply. So you better check your balance.
Remain or leave? Come on, let's hear it. Remain? Leave? Leave? Hands up, remain.
Remain, bruh.
Leave, bro.
Hands up, leave. Ah, yeah. Leave has it. Leave her.
Decisive action. I like it. I don't blame you. It's not the most effervescent of conversation, but before you go, there's another opportunity to make the most of your Cube's entertainment program. There's a hot new channel out there where blood sport happens in a Bitcoin mine. Some say it's from the future and it's being backed by some kind of crazy time machine. Some say it's fiction. I'm not sure myself. Maybe they're both right, but you can tune in now. Best part is it's completely interactive. You can pocket some coins without having to get your hands dirty or your clothes covered in miner sweat. If you're traveling, a little extra coin never goes amiss. The final boss. Oh, friends, I'm so sorry to see you here. Things haven't gone the way you planned. But you know what old John Milton said, don't you? Better to reign in hell than serve in heaven. And who am I to argue with that kind of logic? We're here in the bowels of Bitcoin, and things aren't looking good, but there's a little hope. Somewhere, off planet, the oligarchs are singing, and sometimes even a minor royal could rise up and join them. But it's a battle. Here, where a king falls, he's hooked up to the mains to power the miners. His successor has to fight for his crown whenever a challenge comes. If he wins, he gets coins. If he loses, well, let's just say he doesn't want to lose. So, the good news is you're a king now. The bad news is crowns are commodities, and down here, there's not much difference between a trading floor and a killing floor. Today, the old king died, and you've got a choice to make.
Minor King approaches the apparently lifeless body of dethroned king. Minor King prods the body of dethroned king. After a few unsuccessful prods, it is evident that the dethroned king has died. Realization has dawned on the face of Minor King. He steps away from the body of the dead dethroned king, faces the audience, raises his arms, and bellows in rage. Scrolling background miners stop and begin to jump up and down and bellow in excitement. Other miners exit this chamber of the cave to prepare for the battle to face the Minor King. Minor King steps forward to the edge of the stage. He squats down, looks at the expanding black hole. Minor King stands, turns towards the cave wall. He reviews the scene the miners have scrolled. Images of block liberations, image key strings, images of the war that drove them into the caves, images of the sacred coin. Minor King bows his head and walks over to the body of the dethroned king. He touches the dethroned king's face gently. He embraces the dethroned king and begins to undo the chains he's kept in so that his body can be ritually burned and the remaining tallow can be used to extract energy for the mining and the illumination of the coming battle.
Is this life just too brutal and dark? Does death as a Bitcoin battery seem preferable? Or do you want to fight for your crown? Hoping against hope, there might be a golden ticket out of here if you're tough enough. And you can ride that great big Tesla in the sky to freedom.
Surrender? Just make me a battery already. Fight. A win is a win.
Surrender.
Win, fight, fight, surrender.
Fight.
Let's hear you. Fight. Okay, we're fighting. Minor King and pretenders stand outside a circle of raucous miners sitting on the cave floor. Minor King is alone, but other miners have clearly bet on one or the other pretenders and are hyping their guys. Minor King enters the combat circle.
Now I know some of our better off friends are watching this on their big screens. And now's the time they can get involved in all the fun down here. If you're among the investors, let us know if you want to back the king or his opponent. It's gonna be a barn burner. And I don't know how much harder it can get down here.
Bet on the king or bet on the pretender?
Pretender.
Okay, let's hear you.
King.
King or pretender?
Pretender.
King.
Pretender.
Pretender 1 enters the circle. They fight fiercely, but in the end, quickly, when the Minor King floors Pretender 1, miners celebrate and cheer as Pretender 1 is led away.
Everybody loves a winner, and the converse is also, well, it's not true. He's after the server miners to sweat it out until the next king comes. But when will that happen? We've got another likely troglodyte on our hands here. What do you think? Still feel like a flutter? If only to generate a little air down here?
Bet on the king or the pretender? Pretender 2 or king?
Pretender.
King!
Pretender.
Pretender 2 enters the circle.
Fight.
Pretender 2 sweeps out Minor King's legs and he falls. Pretender 2 holds a knee on Minor King's throat, pinning him to the cave floor. Minor King can't quite let go of his status, but eventually, sadly succumbs. Pretender 2 stands in the center of the circle, hooting and bellowing. The collected remaining miners bellow in approval, and Pretender 2, now new king, is given Minor King, now living dead kings, ceremonial Patagonia fleece robe fashioned from all of the vests of the former kings. Miners hoist the body of living dead king and lead him into the cave to be taken to his fate. New king stands in the center of the uproarious circle, smiling, but slowly the smile fades. The lights go down and only the sound of humming servers are audible.
The hammer and the scorecard. Again.
Wow. That's unusual.
Hello. We've already seen a lot of ups and downs in our little adventure, again. But if you found yourself here, you can already consider yourselves a winner. I'm getting a sense of deja vu. Is anybody else? Weird. Time is a flat circle. But any fool can make money. The real winners know how to spend it. Why don't you take a little gander at the luxury offerings available to you now that you've reached the outer limits of the winner's circle? We can skip the video, I think.
Yeah.
We're here to sell you timeshare accommodation. That's the purpose of this event. The real purpose. How do you think we fund all this? What do you think? Are you going to get in the ground floor? Or is the cube a little bit too square for your tastes? Pass.
No.
You guys are making a lot of the wrong choices. Why you gotta be like this? Ghost miners in the sky. Fellow Gwendolyn. It's hard to tame a wild creature. And Bitcoin is as wild as they come. I know learning helps, but theory and praxis don't always join up in the best ways. You've tried markets, you've tried institutions, and you've tried markets again. And it's all come up short. You might have already heard rumblings, but there's a revolution afoot in the preceding decades. The coin cult split into different denominations. Some went along with the Byzantine beliefs. A more regulated coin is a freer, friendlier creature, but some didn't. They doubled down, then they tripled down, then they Googled down. Things haven't been pretty since. They call them the lame coiners. You'd expect as much, given the message boards the bit leavers read, but they have a Bitcoin too. Only they got pushed off planet and are stuck mining on the moon. But the coin is hungry, as you know, regulators better than anyone. They fought to a draw, the bit leavers and the lame coiners, but they didn't run out of energy. Now though, things might be different, and the moon coiners, lunatics as Stum styled them, decided there's only one way to stop Bitcoin, and it's acolytes. The regulation of the grave! The Moon Crew is led by a charismatic cowpoke. Maybe he gets a little bit wound up at times, but sometimes he sees it clearly. He's got a proposal to his people and to any regulators who still believe the coin can be tamed.
Enter the scene.
We do it the way we said.
Yeah. Coiners have come to you today to ask just about everything of you. We've stood together, watched as the evil coin has made our lives unlivable. They've blocked our gas stations, they've threatened our minds, and they've lied about it. It's clear to me today, clear as liquid crystal, that they'll never tell us the truth. They'll always be fighting us. In the chain, in the sky, along the vents, wherever there's heat, or light, or freedom, the evil coin will come for us. Well, coiners, they had a saying where I came from. In fact, I said it myself. You all know me as a warrior. I've been at it for centuries. I've been at war all my life. And all my lives. I was a warrior when I was fighting for Napoleon at Leipzig. They called it the Battle of Nations. But I told my people then, and as I'm telling you, it's not a question of if we're gonna die. I fought with the bravest of the brave. To target the center of my they're gonna remember this day forever, the day we fought back. Now, there's one weather condition, it's called the divine winds. But I'm coming to you. I'm coming to you with an army that loves death, and it took away our fear. Take away our fear. Can you hear it? Coiners unite.
Wow, that was some speed reading,
Yeah.
lots of which I haven't seen in a long time. So what do you think? Are you gonna back the insurgency? Is the last law left the first law that gets broken? The laws of war?
Fund the revolution or peace at any price?
Peace.
Revolution! Dungeons and Devs.
Finally, you did something good.
Yeah, finally.
The time machine is ticking down. Welcome to 2106. Things have changed a little bit since our last scene. The battle between those who love the coin and those who hate it has heated up. Instead of hot air balloons, the anti-coin insurgents have bigger targets now. The core citadel of Bitcoin's senior developers. The devs are in crisis. They need to decide who they can and can't trust. It's ironic it's turned out this way, but irony futures are always a good investment in the land of the coin.
Consensus has failed again. Who has defected? Who threatens the faith?
It is I who voted no, and for good reason. Do you not think I saw the line that you snuck in? The one which would have given Euron Guild preferential access to the new blocks? Do you take us for fools?
I wrote no such line. What nonsense is this?
Here it is, lines 1067 to 1156, clear as day. The first tries to sabotage us under the pretense of haste.
Blasphemy! You know very well that this fork must succeed today, fool. That is no pretense. 100 years of holy history will crumble into ruin if consensus is not reached by the time the clock strikes midnight. And I had nothing to do with these lines. I would never besmirch the code.
But the edits came from your terminal.
It is sabotage, clearly. One of you has rerouted edits to my terminal to undermine the fork. One among us is an imposter. Which is it?
Very sus of you trying to stall consensus from the inside. I call a vote of no confidence in Prime Demidev.
I second.
The suspense is killing me, and it might just kill them too. What do you think, Gwendolyn? Do you trust the Prime Dev, or is he playing with a loaded coin? It's time to make another choice. If you trust the Prime, you'll want to bet the farm on the vote of no confidence failing. If you think all devs are bluffers, then you might be wiser to keep it trustless.
Fail or pass? Can I have a show of hands? Fail. Fail? Anyone? Pass? Pass? Pass?
Fail. I think it fails.
It fails.
It's close. That was close.
Brothers, bros, what is the meaning of this? After decades of faithful service to our coin,
I'll hear no more from you. You are no longer Prime Demidev. Leave this place.
but
We did it. We stopped them. All those decades of planning, of hard work.
Finally, this blasted coin will be banished from the earth.
So there our story ends, friends. In every transaction, there are winners and there are losers. Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down, and sometimes you're both at the same time. It just depends on your liquidity preference. I hope you enjoyed your glimpse into the futures to come, and you've had at least a little think about where we're all going and how soon we're going to get there. I have to leave you now. The market is unstable and my Lambo chariot waits. But the good news is you can always come back to where you started and see how things might have been different if you tried another pathway. Hindsight, it's the ultimate luxury purchase. If you've got the inclination, I'll see you again. But if not, good luck out there. The path forks in funny ways sometimes. I hope we've given you a decent roadmap though. If not enough to get you home, then at least enough for you to avoid the worst. Until next time, Gwendolyn, may your chicken always be tender and may the coin shine on you. Adios! Let's play again. Otherwise, it's an hour. I think we should play again.
We can also.
Okay. Well, audience, we have a little bit of extra time. Possibly enough time to play the game once again. Would you like to do that?
Yeah, everyone, we won.
You always win. It's Bitcoin. Everyone wins in Bitcoin. That's how it works.
No way, the deal was that you always lose.
Losing is winning in Bitcoin. So we have time to play the game once more. Is anyone interested in doing that? Would you like to go through again? Yeah?
Yes,
Yeah.
Because we have multiple timelines, pathways in the game. So what we've seen is like just part of the world that we can explore. I think we should do it.
Yeah.
We can skip bits of it.
But I think we have went
Yeah. I think that people now move around and stuff. I think we should play the game.
because we here, yeah, I think I'm
Okay, then we should play some music. Okay, alright.
I think so, just mainly because that was a strong finish.
Alright,
I think
okay.
now that